Look no further than the Mideast to see just how powerful social media has become. It's frequently being hailed as the key tool used by protesters to share their views on government and organize their plan of action to enact change. That very use of services like Facebook and Twitter is just one of hundreds of topics being discussed at the annual Social Media Week. Groups from New York, San Francisco, Rome, Paris, Toronto, Sao Paulo, London, Hong Kong, and Istanbul are exploring how this 21st century phenomenon is, and will continue to change the world and our everyday lives.
We're particularly interested in getting perspectives from different societies around the world to formulate a much broader perspective, a broader sort of view of how social media is actually impacting the global society. We have events and programming that's focused on politics, news, government, publishing, advertising, marketing, film, television, music.
And a lot of discussions during the week focusing on how social networking is becoming more social in the traditional sense of the word, and not just people sitting at home alone being more social. Perfect example of that, the location-based social networking service Foursquare, which launched just around when the first Social Media Week was being held. 2 years later, hard to find a person with a smartphone who doesn't know what it is.
It is a social network, but it's one that tries to bring you away from your computer and out into the real world and meeting other people, making new friends and meeting up with old friends and having conversation in the real world as opposed to, in IM or over email.
Many panels also focused around how social media can give the common person more say within their company, their community, the nation, and even the world. At the very least, open up communication between citizens and their elected officials, says Tom Lee at Sunlight Labs, who helped create Stream Congress that tracks all social media entries from those elected officials.
I hope that it'll make it possible to empower more people to make their voices heard. I hope it'll make it easier and cheaper for government to process that input. And I hope that it'll lead to better outcomes, both in terms of policy and service delivery.
If you'd like to get more in-depth about the issues being discussed or even catch some events live or pre-recorded, head over to socialmediaweek.org. Adam Balkin, New York 1.